Do you love canned salmon? I love canned salmon, but not the stuff that's commercially canned. I love home canned salmon. And so every few years, we pick up about 80 pounds of salmon. It's an investment, and we can it up because it is so good. So I have videos on that I will link to the end of this video. But today, we're going to show you one of the ways that we use our canned salmon. Hello, everybody, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and we are all about pantry preparedness because it's the best investment that money can buy. Coming up soon in March, we are going to be doing Make It March. And that is me and seven of my besties are going to be providing a video every single day in the month of March showing you how to use your home canned items. Because the biggest question we get is, now I've canned it, what do I do with it? So we're here to show you. But a viewer suggested, hey, Lisa, I like Ugly Meat Monday because, I'm all about the ugly meat here, and there's a whole story behind that. But Ugly Meat Mondays it is for the month of February at least. We might revisit it later on this year. Today, we are going to be using our home canned salmon. This is a super simple recipe because it had to be. I was in a hurry. We just got home from Florida and we needed to make something for dinner. So I grabbed my very last jar of home canned salmon off the shelf, and we had picked up some beautiful mushrooms. You'll see them. We're going to make some salmon and bacon stuffed portobello mushrooms. You can absolutely use button mushrooms for this. You just make them smaller. They're like an appetizer. Everyone will love you. But if you want to do the big ones, those are dinner in and of themselves. Let's get started. We are going to kick off this video with some bacon bits and pieces. This is a little bag of bacon ends and pieces that we get from the processor who does our pigs, not full strips of bacon. So they just take all that and put it in a bag, and we use it for soups or stews or, stuffed mushrooms. Yeah. So we're just going to rough chop these so that they can go into the air fryer. They cook up so much faster this way, just so much faster this way. So we're just going to rough chop them and get them into the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, I still say rough chop them and put them in the oven. It makes it go faster. Anything that at least gives us the perception that it's going faster. So I'm just going to scoop these up, put them into the basket. And once they're in the basket, definitely take some time to separate any chunks, not meticulously, just spread them out a little bit because they'll cook better that way. And you don't end up with a clump that's burnt on the outside and not on the inside. So I am air crisping these according to my air fryer, 375 degrees for 15 minutes, I believe is what I ended up doing. And that will cook them up nice and crispy, as you will see here momentarily. Just delicious. Look at that. Yeah. So I thought I'd be all, and use a spoon. And I did for one scoop, but after that it was like, that's going to take too long. So I grabbed my handy dandy lobster mittens. Yes, I did. And we're just going to take that whole basket and dump it into the food processor to make life a little bit easier because nothing should be this difficult ever. So that's all beautifully cooked down bacon. And now I'm going to add my Thrive onions. In the recipe that is linked down below, you will see that I have measurements for fresh onions or for the Thrive onions, either or. You know me, I measure with my heart, but I gave you a rough guesstimate. That is dried minced garlic, which I love. Again, there's measurements on the recipe. And there's no vampires around here because garlic is good. That, my friends, is my last lonely can of salmon. Yes, it is. And what's the date on that? 2020. Yes, it is. But it's still good. It's still safe. It's still wonderful. And it had a heck of a seal on it. So we're going to do that, drain off the liquid, which had my cats going crazy, and then we're going to put the salmon into the food processor also. If there's a tiny bit of liquid, that's not a bad thing. It's perfectly good. And we are going to get that ready to blend up. The nice part about salmon is that even when it's canned, it's not super wet. It's not like soggy, if you know what I mean. So because I don't want the carbs, I decided to do the keto version of this, and we're using cream cheese as the binder. because cheese is life. Okay. And we're doing 8 ounces of cream cheese, your choice. If you would prefer, you can definitely use like breadcrumbs and an egg to use as the binder, but yeah, I opted for this. And now it's time to give it a whirl. Wah! And that's when I discovered, well, Lisa, the cream cheese is not as soft as you thought it was. Of course. So I just got in there and broke it up a little bit more because you want it to definitely integrate through all of the salmon and all of the bacon. It actually comes out like a pate. Okay, so think liverwurst or, something like that. And it's absolutely fabulous. Now, personally, when I looked at this, I went, I bet you that would make a great sandwich spread or maybe on some crackers. There's so many different ways you could use this, right? But we're going to stuff these bad boys. Beautiful portobello mushroom caps. I love mushrooms. You guys know I love mushrooms. I'm all about the shrooms, okay? And the bigger the shroom, the better. And so we have portobello mushroom caps, and because I am in love with them, look at that. They're a work of art. I don't care what anybody says. Look at that beautiful color. And so because I believe they're a work of art, and because shrooms are so near and dear to my heart, I'm going to show you every single one as I pull them out. But I'm telling you, they're gorgeous. Okay, and check out this one. Look at those lines. I mean, that's just mesmerizing, isn't it? Fantabulous. Next, we're going to take the stems out. Had I pre-planned this a little bit better, typically I take the stems and I put them into the food processor with the rest of the mixture because they're perfectly good to eat. Do you eat the stems? I eat the stems. I love the stems. So mushroom stems, if you eat them, let me know in the comment section down below. These are going to end up being put into a container, and I will use them in the next day or two for something like a mushroom Swiss omelet. Doesn't that sound good? I thought so too. Thank you very much. They pop out really easy. Poof. I do love me some shrooms. Yes, I do. And now, if you are interested in this, some people do bake the mushrooms before they stuff them. I don't. It just releases some of the moisture in the actual mushroom cap. Not a big deal to me. I think it's just part of the party, I put down another piece of parchment paper on the counter because I'm tired of making messes that I got to clean up. But we're going to scoop all of this beautiful, beautiful mixture out, and we're going to put it onto this parchment paper so that I can divide it up because it's easier. I was looking at, do I scoop it out? No, I want to try to divide it into quarters, 4, or if you have the button mushrooms, then you could use like a small spoon or a cookie scoop, that kind of thing. But for this purpose, for portobello mushrooms, I'm just going to divide the mixture into 4, and we're going to get ready to stuff those shrooms. You don't have to overthink it, just, a rough guesstimate, because you're still going to get your hands in there and have all the fun. So now we're going to stuff these. So you're going to take that mixture and you're going to roll it into a ball and get your hands all nice and sticky, and you're going to put it right there in the mushroom cap. Just set it on top. You don't have to slam dunk it in there or anything, and it'll get down there. Trust me, it'll get down there. So we're going to wash, rinse, and repeat for all 4 of the mushrooms. These are so good with button mushrooms also. So good. Yes, they are. And now we're going to get to the fun part. Oops, first we're going to put away those stems because I'm serious. Those are going into an omelet. I can't pronounce this cheese. I don't know why I can't pronounce it, but I can't. So I love it though, and so that is why we're using it. You can also use a Parmesan cheese. That would be amazing on this, but I had this cheese, the G cheese, whatever it's called. So I'm going to shred up some, and I was guesstimating around an ounce, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on you do you, I do not believe that you can ever have too much cheese, but you're just going to stack it right there on top and make the world a better place all the way around, okay? For these last 2, I did put a little indentation because I kind of went, oh, I hope this doesn't spill over. So it was my attempt to not get it to completely ooze over the top. Then, oops, toes, yep, we're going to get them in the oven, 400 degrees for 30 minutes, my friends. And then this is what they look like when they come out. That's that moisture I was talking about. No harm, no foul. We're going to plate these up. Ooh, look at that. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. You can taste the bacon, and is that some awesome salmon?
Very.
Yeah. It got a Phil approval. Yes, it did. So we had that for dinner. It was fantabulous. It was really good. It's creamy and it's got the bacon and it's got the salmon, but home canned salmon doesn't have that super fishy flavor to it that commercially canned salmon does. I don't know why. I have never had bones in my home canned salmon. I hear that you find them in commercially canned salmon. Legitimately, I've only tried that commercially canned salmon one time and swore I'd never do it again. So, no matter which way you go, you can definitely use this recipe. You can also use tuna. Yes, you can. It's so good. We did this more of a low carb version, okay, more of a keto low carb version because I didn't want to add breadcrumbs, which is why I used the cream cheese. If you prefer, you don't want to use the cream cheese, you can absolutely substitute something like panko breadcrumbs and an egg and mix that in with your seasonings and your salmon and your bacon. And it turns out really good too. And then you just put that in the mushroom and you bake it. I hope that you give it a try. I hope that this is something that interests you. And I hope that you check out this video right here showing you how to can salmon. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Until next time, everybody, please be safe and stack it to the rafters, my friends.